Welcome to our BAM session. Let me share my screen. Okay, well, today I'm going to talk about how to grow your real estate business through social media. And one of the things I'll say about this is probably just about everything that you've ever heard about growing your business through social media is wrong, at least in my opinion. There's so much out there about how to do it, and I think so much of it is wrong. And there's even you can buy leads through conversion or CRM, or you can find social media people who are doing marketing. And the problem that I've seen with so much social media marketing is that most social media marketers don't really know what a lead is. They think a click is a lead, and a click is not a lead. And so a lot of them are selling agents clicks. And they say, well, that's your fault. You didn't close it. And so what a click is on social media, they're scrolling, and they see a picture of a really nice kitchen. Oh, that's a nice kitchen. Like to see pictures of that. And oh, that's a lead generator. I'm not interested. So they back out, and they're not really in the mindset of buying a house. And I've heard that people go to Facebook to look for houses. I don't know. I've heard it. I've never met those people. Most people are on social media because they're trying to connect with friends or trying to stalk people online. Most people, in my opinion, on social media are not there looking to buy a house. And it's fine if you want to do Facebook Marketplace, definitely no problem with that. I do that myself. If you want to put a house in a community group, a squeeze page for that, no problem. I'm not saying you shouldn't do those things, but to me, that's not the core of how to use social media to build a great business. For me, there's really 5 elements that I would recommend for you as far as building a great social media foundation for your business. The first thing I would say is focus on your personal social media account rather than on a business account. And one of the first things that most brokers tell their agents when they go to that brokerage is they say, okay, step 1, you have to set up a business account for your real estate business. So, you get in there and you put your logo up there. Maybe if you have your own brand, you put that up there, and you have your business account, and you have listings on there. And then you send out your invite to all your friends. Hey, follow my business account. And most people won't follow that because most people are not looking for additional advertisements on Facebook. They're like, nope, I'm good. If I want a house, I know where to go to look to find it, not Facebook. So, so most people are not going to be that's not the right arena for a business page, in my opinion. Now, the only reason why I do have a business page, and why you might want to have a business page would be if you're going to advertise on Facebook, which I don't recommend. But if you are going to advertise on Facebook, then you need to have a business account in order to do that. But then again, the dollars you spend on Facebook ads, again, you're advertising to people who are not necessarily in the mindset to be house hunting on Facebook. So now I know there's a few people out there who say they've made millions of dollars by advertising on Facebook. That's great. You can go watch their webinar, sign up for their consulting services or whatever. But my experience has always been that Facebook is a very difficult place to get people into a mindset of buying a house. Uh, so I don't recommend setting up a business account. I recommend building out your personal account and then weaving your life in with business through your personal account. So the whole point, people aren't necessarily there looking for houses for sale, but they are looking for relationships, right? They want to make friends. They want to get close with people. So your strategy should be to build connections. Don't use Facebook for advertising, use it for connections. That's the whole point. It's a social media network. So network through social media, build out your network through social media. So focus on your personal account rather than your business account. And then the second point is then once you've got your personal social media, and I get agents from time to time that they'll come on and they'll say, "Oh, I don't have a Facebook account. I know you're going to tell me to get a Facebook account. I just don't like Facebook. I know." And my answer is, yes, I'm going to ask you to get a Facebook account. And it's really not that hard. It's you can set it up and then try to reconnect with as many people as you can who you've known over the years. So think about people in particular, you want to connect on social media with anyone who would either do business with you or they would potentially lead someone to you who would do business with you. So expand your sphere of influence as much as you can through social media. So the key statistic, I say this from time to time to be aware of, is that 3% of the population tends to be in the market for whatever the thing is that you happen to sell. So if you sell tires and you know 100 people, then you know three people today who are looking to buy tires. If you sell pencils and you know 100 people, then you know three people today who are looking to buy pencils. And it's the same thing with real estate. If you sell real estate and you know 100 people, then you know about three who are looking to buy or sell real estate today. So, and the way that that works, so most of you don't have 100 connections on Facebook. Most of you have 3 to 500. I think those are the average numbers. So let's just say you know 500 and 3% of the population is looking for a house. That means you know 15 people today who are looking to buy or sell a house. 85% of people who buy a house with a realtor use a realtor that they already know. So your job is to be the realtor that they already know. Okay, it's as simple as that. So so social media is a fabulous tool for being the realtor that they already know. So build out your connections as much as you can. You don't want to be creepy about it. You don't want to go sending friend requests to people that they're like, "Ooh, that's weird. Why is he sending me a?" Make sure you have a legitimate connection with them or a reason to connect with them. But you'll be amazed at the hundreds and hundreds of people that you do have legitimate reasons for connecting with them. At this point, I've got about 5,000 connections on Facebook. I've got something like 12,000 connections on LinkedIn. And that means I know hundreds of people every day who are looking to buy and sell houses. So social media is really the ideal social media database or a business database for you. Social media is. So if you think of it that way, it really takes on a whole different twist. So then once you have built out your social media profile, you're using it, you've got lots of connections. One of the things you can do to use social media to help you be that agent they already know, you want to stay top of mind with agents. And the best way you can do that is to segment your database, your names and your contact list in Facebook and other social media. You can segment the list so that your news feed will only show people that are in the special segment. So you should have a segment. You can call it whatever you want, but under your contacts in Facebook in particular, you can set up lists of your friends and you can go through all your connections and then you can assign them to a specific list. And you might have a list that's potential business. And so you can go to this section and you can make it so your news feed only shows up people who would be potential business. All right. So that helps you to start to organize your contacts in a meaningful way. Once you have them segmented according to potential business, the next step then is to make 10 to 20 light touches every day to your connections on social media. Okay. So, um, and in particular, be thinking about those people who will either uh, send you business or they will be your business. They'll actually buy or sell a house from you. So once you've segmented your list, the easiest way to make these light touches is to go through your news feed when you're only showing people that are in that list and just like posts. To go through, just like a post, comment on a post, like a post, comment on a post. So you just keep going through, and that helps you to keep building those relationships. They are reminded that you're there. Oh, yeah, Chris, that realtor guy, he's still there. We're still connected. Keeps me top of mind. It also it's a light touch of kindness because you tend to notice the people who like your photos, right? You tend to notice the people who like your posts, or if they fight against you, they argue against you. You notice that, right? So, so this can be a great way for you to have a positive rapport with those people who either would do business with you or they would refer business to you. So make it a goal to have 10 to 20 light touches per day and be very intentional about the way you do that. And then the last point is to post 2 to 3 posts per week that have something to do with real estate. Okay. Post 2 to 3 posts per week with something that has to do with real estate. So um, I don't recommend jamming it down people's throats if that you're a realtor every day. If you do that, then they might unfollow. You know, if everything that comes out of your mouth is real estate, real estate, real estate, that sort of takes away from the personal touch. People aren't there for an advertisement; they're there for a connection. So I think it's good to use your social media to highlight your life experiences. Hey, we just got a puppy. Hey, just had this vacation. Hey, I just ate a sandwich, or whatever those really important things are that you put on social media. Uh, I would be thinking in terms of that. Make that most of your social media, but then 2 to 3 times a week post something that has to do with real estate. And so you might do a showing, do a selfie of you showing properties, or you might say, "Hey, I'm doing an open house today. Stop by to see me." Uh, a few times a week you can do that, so people will be like, "Oh yeah, Chris, he's a realtor." It'll keep you top of mind that that's what you do. Okay, so that in a nutshell, then to me is that's how I've built my business through social media, and I found it to be extraordinarily. Um, I've found it to be extraordinarily successful use of social media that way. I know that's not how most people are doing it. Some of you have other ideas. I'd love to hear your ideas. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for our gallery here. If you have questions or if you have comments, some of you are extreme experts on social media. I see it every day, how you're growing your business through social media. Love to hear some feedback there. But what are some questions or comments or input you might have? Do you disagree with me? Feel free to disagree with me. Happy to hear those perspectives as well. So, all right, Rod, what do you have, man?
Hey, do you know somebody can just do all that for me? I hate doing that stuff, but I'd gladly pay somebody to do those postings and things for me.
Well, yes. What's I don't know how many of you have heard of Gary V. And Gary Vaynerchuk, he's one of the top social media gurus in the world, I would say. He's definitely good to look up. He wrote gosh, I can't even think of the name of his books, but he's kind of a coarse guy. He drops the F-bomb about every 17 seconds or so, but he is considered an authority on social media. He recommends against automating social media and having another person do it. And his social media is massive. And of course, he has people that record the videos and they do the posting, but um, any of the personal elements of it, he's actually in there every day, spending hours. So, like, he'll post a video and he'll get 400 comments on a video, and he gets in there himself. And people have told him, "Hey, you should hire a VA, a virtual assistant, to respond and comment." And he's like, "Nah, I want to make it personal. I think that's the whole point of it, is to make it personal." So you might be able to
But
find a person that,
he makes a living doing that stuff and selling what he does. I just want to have a presence and someone that
yeah.
keeps that going. I don't want to make a living posting social media and selling stuff on it like he does.
Well, he didn't used to make a living doing it. He sold wine, and his dad had a wine store, and he was one of the ones before anyone knew what social media was. He built it from like a $2 million business to a $20 million business in just a few years, and so that I don't know. There are services that are out there. I believe Keeping Current Matters might have an automatic social media poster. And one of the things I like about social Keeping Current Matters is that they have current data that's coming out like constantly. They have uh, infograms. Is that what you call that? They have like really cool graphics that have data and most recent statistics. So that would be one. If you're looking to automate it, that would be one that I would probably go with. There might be some others. If others have some other ideas, that would also be good. But I
I,
see,
I
Helena, I
use
see you got your hand there. Are you able to, or
Thanks, Chris. I
yeah,
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so I was just
sure.
back off of what Rod said. So we actually were very prominent. We actually took a step back from social media just because it's cold outside and I don't like being in the cold making videos and my hands freezing. So we tried to do a couple of different things. I know like we have Canva Pro. With Canva Pro, we were able to use like different kind of videos that they have to make more of a like video for them without us being on the screen. But I noticed that it wasn't going nearly as far as us being there on the screen and telling them about this kind of information. So anything kind of like automated like that, it just wasn't going too well. We weren't getting as many, we weren't getting out there as much as we used to have. Keeping Current Matters, absolutely do like it. And, my mom and I, we use Keeping Current Matters. But like I said, I think that we need to switch to actually like taking the information from Keeping Current and actually telling people about it ourselves rather than posting those infographics. Just because like
Yeah,
what's his name? Gary V said it's more personable and people want that.
yeah, yeah. That's good input. Thank you. And it looks like Marcy, maybe you have some other ideas or thoughts.
Yeah, Rod, I just wanted to say that I get it. I share your pain. Sometimes the social media component of our business is for the birds, but it is a movement and you don't have to adopt it wholly, it doesn't have to be a huge part of your life or your day. You eat that elephant one bite at a time. If you're willing, I'd be happy to share with you some real simple tactics that you can do without, making yourself all upset about having to subscribe to this kind of a thing. Um, I'll uh, I'll share my phone number with you and we could maybe schedule a Zoom meeting one-to-one. I'm happy to show you how I've managed it. Because, we talk about Facebook as this black hole. Once you open that window, you just like fall in and all of a sudden the day is gone. And, you learn so much. You watch so many cool videos. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't like seeing other agents do this because it's annoying, but they just listed, just sold, just listed, just sold. It's like those stupid postcards people put out there. It means nothing to your business. But there's a really great way that I have found, and I have a testimonial. So let me jump over to that. I was working with a client for one of my $3,000 a month rentals, and person walked into my open house and said, we see you all over Facebook, and it's because someone we know is one of your friends, and we decided to start following you because you're friends with so-and-so. And they mentioned that person's name, and I felt terrible because I really didn't know who that person was. And, turns out this is someone I met in a BNI group, and she started following me. She reposts some of my things. So it's not so much that, you know, I am out there trying to make every single person who's following me my client, but it does happen organically. And I think that's the main thing. So whatever you have to do to just nurture creating some organic relationships is how you'll build your business and make good use of social media. But it's definitely not something you need to pay someone to do. If you do that, you remove the personal content. That's my 2 cents worth.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And I guess the differentiator for me is if it's a paid content poster, it won't be personal. Like people want to see pictures of my new puppy. People want to see my life, and then I sprinkle it in with a little bit of real estate. So and then it's those real estate posts are better if I say something that's specifically me doing real estate, as opposed like I mentioned the keeping current matter stuff, and I think that's good. But sort of like I think what Selena was saying, it does kind of even that can get you away from the personal touch, so people aren't necessarily connecting with it. So I would use the social media as a connecting tool so that you're the agent that everybody knows. So
Hey, Chris, we had a question
yeah.
in the chat. Karen asked, are you allowed to show off someone's kitchen or house when walking through?
That's a good question. I believe there are rules in the MLS where you have to get permission from the homeowner at
Right.
least through the agent, if you're going to post a video that has anything to do with their house. So,
And the
so
photos, yeah,
you do want to be careful. What were you going to say,
right.
Scott?
Oh, the photos on the MLS, we can't share those either. So let's say if you got something under contract and you want to do an Instagram post, you can't use the MLS photo because that's property of the listing agent and the MLS. You can't use that on social either.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
My
So,
experience, if you're gonna post something that's somebody's property like that, you better get them to sign a release. Just a simple one-page form. It signs a release that you can put that stuff up there because you're asking for it if you don't. It's my
Well,
experience.
with regard to the release, you can't create a legal document. You can't practice law without a license. So if you need a document that is a release, you're going to have to get one from an attorney. Do we have something like that in stock, Chris?
not yet.
Okay. Yeah.
So right
But
now we just won't
one
do it.
Yeah.
one
Right.
of the safest things though, and I see agents doing this all the time. They might say, "Hey, I'm rolling up to a showing, have a picture of them in front of the house. Looks like a great house." And so it's not necessarily anything personal, it might be from the outside. Uh, but I think if you are going to go through the inside of the house with a camera, you can. I see agents who get permission from it. They'll say, "Hey, I'm going to be doing a showing. Is it okay to shoot a quick video while I'm going through there that I can put on social media to try to find a buyer for your listing?" And I'd say it's a 50-50 chance if they'll let you, because a lot of the other agents feel threatened by that. And so they'll probably say, no, we don't want you to do that. So on your own listings, you can definitely do it. And I would say you'll have a better chance if you're working with a Plum Tree agent on one of their listings. So
Some of the
other thoughts?
confusion about advertising through Facebook Personal has to do with the rules of advertising that Facebook put forth a number of years ago, where they said that's why you need a business page. They were trying to drive us to spend money on ads through Facebook, but they would only allow that in the platform of the business page. So when agents are advertising any type of business, and not just an agent, but any business owner trying to advertise their business, their product, their services through their personal page, they're violating the meta rules of advertising. Because I keep looking them up thinking they might change. Who wants to get shut down from Facebook? If they find you in violation, they could do that. And anyway, the rules were very stringent previously. They've loosened them up a little, but you could get shut down if you are egregious with your advertising, techniques. And then the other thing is that platforms like Conversion only allowed us to connect our Facebook business page for that direct link. So every time my listing goes under contract, I'm not posting that it's under contract or sold. Conversion is doing that, and they're linking it to my business page. That's an automated service if you set it up correctly. So
Cool. I didn't even realize that was a thing that you could set that up for automation through Conversion. That's cool. Did I see Maria? Did you have a hand there? Tell me what you got.
Yes. So one of the things that I was trying to work on is my sphere of influence. And I went through my Facebook and I went to the birthdays tab. And so I looked at who had birthdays in February. And so I started adding them into my CRM. But I also started, kind of like skulking on their page to see about, who is their spouse, children, birthdays, anniversaries, anything like that. And so I have always befriended anyone who is a Tavanche because that's a very unique name. We're all related somehow. And so I skulked on someone's page and I liked a couple of things that were recent. I mean, if within the last week, something that they haven't been on in a month, I didn't. But when I did that, I got a call from a Tavanche through Messenger and we chatted. And he ended up being in Mexico, but I said, hey, if you know anyone who moves to the United States, let them know I can help them out with a house or a rental or anything. So, I mean, it was really nice to have like that little personal touch.
That's great. Yeah, I love that way of using it. That's a great story. So thank you for sharing that. Hey, here's a bonus thought. This pointer, this hack is free. You don't have to pay for this one, like you didn't pay for any of the others anyway. But anyway, I recommend on social media that you do not talk about politics. If you're wanting to build a business, your social media is probably not the best place to discuss politics and other highly controversial topics. There's two reasons for that. I've discovered, and maybe you've discovered, that no one is actually convinced on a political perspective through social media. I don't know how many of you have figured that out. People aren't, it doesn't change their minds. So it's not necessarily effective to use social media to argue a political point. But then what you do is you alienate half of your friend base who might have a different political slant. You eliminate them from the potential of ever doing business with you or sending you business. And it's really not necessary because getting all heated up and sharing these big, massive, heated arguments on social media is not actually effective. So that's my perspective. If you wanted to go ahead and continue to share political stuff, that's fine. But
Chris,
that's
you
my
make such
little
a great
free advice.
point. You make such a great point. I mean, it is really distressing to see so many social comments on the political, whatever's going on right now. But anyway, you invite people to comment on that by putting something out there. You could then attract a whole lot of anger that then you become known for. I have a girlfriend who just constantly has to put her thoughts out there. And then, everything that follows is weeks and weeks of more discussion on topics that aren't going to get solved, like you said. And unfortunately, that's not what she's known for. So I don't follow her. I didn't unfriend her, but I just don't follow it anymore because it puts a lot of garbage out there. And I have a saying, which is don't let anybody walk through your mind with their dirty feet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm
living by that.
I love healthy debate. And so I've all through my life, I've just loved to have challenging conversations. I love to talk to people. Oh, you disagree with me. Let's talk about that. So I've always found that to be intellectually invigorating. And but on social media, you can't do that. People might be trying to do that, but then it's a terrible format for that. And I remember the last time I did this, probably a year or two ago. I was actually, I thought it was funny. I just put a comment. I can't remember what the comment was, but it was something like, "Hey, so what do you think about Trump?" Or so, it was something like that. I wasn't giving a position on it. I wasn't saying I believe this or that. It was like throwing a grenade into a living room and walking out. And so I asked this explosive question. I thought it was funny. Hey, so what do you think about? It wasn't that, but it was something like that. What do you think about Trump? And I could not even believe the eruption of hostility that broke out on my Facebook wall, and it was my wall, and I thought it was going to be a fun conversation. And it was people like were and my friends were yelling at each other, and they were coming at each other, and yeah, well, you must want people to die, or it's like, no, that's John. I went to third grade with John. He's a good guy. He doesn't want people to die. And it was just all this. And so I removed the post. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not doing that again. And,
You know,
and
Chris, what I found is that people say things in texts and posts like that, they would the quorum is gone. They would never say to your face in person, and they just somehow have a license to say the most hateful,
yeah,
uh, uh, awful things in a text message. It's
yeah. Against
just,
perfect strangers, they have no idea who this person is. So,
it's really
full
bad.
full disclosure, right before I said shared the post, I told Lee, my wife, I said, "Hey, this is gonna be funny. Watch this." And she's like, "Oh, don't do that." And I did it, and she was right. I shouldn't have done it. So always listen to your wife. So, all right. Well, hey, have a great week. Go keep warm, but go make some money. Have a great week.